Good morning, Deepa. Very welcome to the Growing Professional Show. Your journey and your work is very much inspiring. You are doing great to help corporate leaders and working professionals excel in their careers. And my audience is also more into careers and they also want to grow. They want to make their conscious career decisions. So I invited you. So the very first question I'd like to ask, directly I'm coming on the questions part. So the very first
Yeah.
question, startup jobs are always in buzz. From last 2 3 days, everybody's looking for joining startup because they are paying very good amount of money. They are giving a lot of perks. But traditionally, the corporate jobs are considered as more secure and safe. So, what is your opinion? Like, how, if somebody has an option to join either in a startup or in a stable job in a corporate, which decision to be made? How they should make a conscious decision about it?
Sure. So, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me on your platform, Ashish. It's my privilege and honor to be here for the second time. And it's always a fun conversation here. So, I said, why not do it again? So, thank you so much for having me here. Now, your question is very interesting. And a lot of leaders come to me when they're searching for a job asking, Deepa, what kind of an organization should I join? So, it's a very relevant, pertinent question to today's scenario, especially because we have to understand that there are different evolving stages of an organization, and it totally depends on where they are in the industry and what is their focus and priority at that stage. So for example, there's a stars model of organization, how they evolve, and there are startups, there are turnaround organizations, there are accelerated companies which are working on growth, then there are sustainable success organizations which are trying to sustain what they are doing. So there are different kinds of organizations, and the the focus of each of those organizations is dependent on where they are at that point of time. Now, to answer your question, as a person, as a leader, we also have different stages in our career journey. And at each point in time, our focus is very different. Our value system keeps evolving. So, wherever you join, whether you join a startup or you join a stable organization, we have to ensure that it is aligned to my focus, my goals, and my priorities. Otherwise, it's going to be a huge mismatch, and it's going to result in a lot of frustration and agitation over a period of time, because the expectation from leaders at each of these stages of an organization is very different. I'll just give an example. Startups, like you said, there are so many perks and there are so many facilities that they give to people who are joining, but as soon as the funding is over, they are all taken off, right? And the employees these days, we are hearing that they are asked to go, and they don't take time to say thank you very much, and you are no longer needed in a startup culture, whereas a stable secure organization tries a lot of things before they do this. So we have pros and cons of every organization, and which organization to join is totally dependent on your focus, your value system, your priorities, and your long term goals. So take the decision with care, because you'll have to live up to it, and you'll experience very different cultures in each of these organizations.
Right. So, following up on this question itself, so how to evaluate, okay, whether this startup, shall I join and go ahead, or okay, this is not for me. So, if any criteria, one should maybe a kind of a 3 to 4 pointer checklist that one should check.
Yeah. So first of all, we need to understand, suppose we are evaluating a startup and we are evaluating a secure, stable, organization which has a global presence, right? So these are two very different kind of organizations. Now, first, before even I go and understand where to join, ask yourself, am I risk taking? Do I love taking risks? Am I a leader who can work without having enough information on the decisions to be taken? Am I a leader who will thrive without any structure, without any system, where there's a lot of money, but there is a lot of unknown as well, right? So if you are a leader who could thrive in these conditions, startup is the place to go, because you will learn a lot during your stay at a startup. But if you are a leader who thrives when there is structure, there's organization, the processes are already set, and you enjoy working in a much more organized and planned fashion, then you are going to be miserable in a startup environment. Then it is important for you to be in a place where there's all of this, which is like the large, huge, stable, secure organizations. So Instead of looking at the organization, ask yourself, what do I want? Create a checklist of what's more important. Work-life balance. For a lot of people, work-life balance is important. And in startup, you can forget about work-life balance, right? So it comes back to what do I need? The top 3, 4 things that you're looking for in your next job, and then understand the model of each organization and then take a call.
Great. It's a very good checklist that one should check, do a tick mark, and then it can take a then they can take a informed decision about it. Very interesting.
Absolutely.
So Deepak, second thing that was coming in my mind, because there could be two options to grow. One is you keep on changing jobs with time, and another could be stay longer time in the same organization and grow in that organization from middle management to CXO position, the top management. So, what are
Absolutely.
the top three things that people miss on, or people should, or maybe if we talk in the positive side, what are the three things people should focus on to streamline their journey from middle management to top management?
Yeah, that's also a very, very good question, Ashish. So again, I talk to a lot of leaders who are asking the same question, and how do I grow? And after 15, 16, 17 years of corporate experience, they don't want to keep moving into multiple jobs. They want a secure place, but they also want to grow. So that's when this question comes up. And I was working with a large organization, Capgemini, for close to 13 years. And I saw my growth in those 13 years. So the myth that we have that if you stay in the same organization, you can't grow, that's not true. If we plan and if you're focused and if you're doing the things in the right manner, there is obviously a lot of opportunities for growth, right? So 3 things that leaders can do if they want to grow in the same organization to a CXO level. The first one that comes to my mind is branding and visibility. We have to act like we are in the role that we want to get into. So if you're trying to be at a CXO level, then we have to act like CXOs do, right? We have to create that attitude and we have to build that attitude to thrive in the opportunities or in the decision making or in the body language or in our communication, the way CXOs behave. So the first one is brand yourself like a CXO in that organization and make yourself visible, right? People should know that you are existing. You cannot be one person working in a corner and expect that people are going to notice you and give you the CXO role. So this is the first big mistake that people do. The second, thing, and there are a lot of skills. I'm not going to touch upon the skills. I want to talk about something which is very different. So the second thing that comes to my mind, especially if you are a mid-level leader working to move to the next level or a very senior level, is having a sponsor. I see a lot of leaders struggling to move forward because they don't have any kind of backup in the organization. And when I say backup, people who are backing you up, right? So I call them sponsors, and sponsors accelerate your career multifold. So build sponsors in the organization, so that's the second. And the third thing, again, a big mistake that people do is they want to be nominated. They're shy of asking. But if you think you are ready, and if leaders think that we have everything that it takes to succeed at the next level, just go and ask for it. Don't expect people to come and offer you in a plate. That is never going to happen, because we need to remember that there are very few positions at the top, right? It's unlike the junior developers that you can promote a lot. So only a few people, a selected few, get promoted to the top levels.
Yes.
For example, there's just one CEO, there's just one CHRO, there's just one CIO, right? So if you are the one, go, talk about yourself and ask for that role. So these are my 3: branding and networking, build sponsors in the organization, and go ask for it. And I'm sure it will get done.
Very interesting. Actually, like this is very important pointers that you have mentioned, because people pretend, even when you do not start positioning yourself in that position, people will not value you. And again, if you are thinking like people will come and ask you, okay, there's a seat we can go and sit there, it's not gonna happen. Because and until you
Never.
ask, answer is always no. So you have to be
Absolutely.
proactive. You have to be
Absolutely.
reactive. Very
Yes.
interesting. So the next question. So very importantly, like, because as you said, like, it's a career journey. Whenever we are in an organization, it's always a journey. So how to know, okay, whether I am in a right direction? Okay, everybody has a plan. Okay, in down the line, 10 years time, I want to be in this position, want to be earning this much of amount. Rough idea everybody have. But whether to know whether we are at the right place, at in right direction, or we should change our paths.
Yeah, yeah. Again, that's a very thoughtful question, because it takes a lot of thinking to decide and to understand if I am moving in the right direction. So, so what I believe is that money and promotion and title, they give us satisfaction for a limited time. For example, if we switch jobs and we get a 50% hike and we get a better designation, now that happiness of doing that just lasts for a month until you get your first salary check, right? After that, that whatever money you are getting, whether it is 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs per month, it becomes a routine. And then to get that happiness and satisfaction, you probably need a 15 lakhs, right? So what we are doing incorrectly, based on my experience of talking to and coaching so many senior leaders, is focusing on happiness from the salary or from the designation that we are getting. So how do we know if you're on the right path? For me, if you're living a life without regrets. Now, what does that mean? It means if wherever you are, in whichever role you are, obviously you have to be paid well. You cannot be underpaid, right? Again, it goes by asking, what are you valuing yourself for, and what do you think you should be paid? So we'll keep aside those things. But other than that, to me, if you are going to work every day knowing that you have the opportunity to contribute, you are being listened to, you are being empowered to take decisions, you are creating a life where at the end of your life you will not have any regrets of not trying enough. Because one of the researches that was done, and there was a scientific study, where it was as part of that study, uh, the old people who were on the deathbed, they were asked, that how do you feel right now that you're going to leave your body soon? And they said, we only wish that we had taken more chances, right? We only wish that we had lived for ourselves and done what we wanted to do, instead of just following the standard expectations of society and culture. So in the end, don't die with regrets, die empty. That's my favorite phrase, die empty. So if you're having the chance and opportunity to implement your ideas, take risk, do the things that you want, enjoy life, work hard, and keep growing every single day, you are on the right path. If that is not happening, you have to think of what are you missing and where can you get all of these things.
I would say very insightful, because living with no regrets is the best thing that one could decide to do. Yes, because yeah,
Absolutely.
it's not like you are just earning money and you are being a part of company politics. You are being a victim of that. You are working under a lot of stress. You are not having a peace of mind. You are not able to sleep. You are not able to have a good, like, happy life at home. So even if you are
Yeah.
getting paid well, it doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah. And you know what, Ashish, I've seen so many people who work extremely hard. Like they're working crazy 50, 60 hours every week, and they are extremely happy with it.
Yes,
They are enjoying every moment of what they are doing. So that
absolutely.
work life balance is a big myth in our minds, that
Yes.
if you enjoy what you're doing, you wouldn't mind spending time doing what you're doing, right? But if you hate what you're doing, and every Monday is a challenge going to office, and we're just waiting for the Friday to come, change your job. Nobody is forcing you to stay where you are,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Uh, but again, going back to knowing what you want, what are your goals, what are your priorities, what are your value systems, what do you thrive in, what kind of culture do you enjoy, knowing those things about ourselves takes us to the right decision. But people don't spend the time to do all of that, and that's a very, very big challenge that I see in today's leaders.
Absolutely. And this is a very important point that I also agree with you, that people are in problems. They know how to get a solution, but they do not sit back and ask themselves what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. And even they do not reach out to a
Exactly.
person who is qualified, who can help them out. in this. They
Absolutely.
keep
Absolutely.
struggling in this vicious cycle, but they do not. They want to come out, but they do not. They do not take a decision to come out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're scared, they are scared of if they have to change or if they will have to build up new skills or what if this also doesn't work. And that's a very victim mindset. What if I take a step and that doesn't work?
Work it.
So that one hope also will go away. So people don't take the step and they keep struggling and they are, so low on self-esteem, self-confidence, and the career instead of going up, it's actually going down on a day-by-day basis.
Agree.
So it's very, very important to reach out if you can't help yourself and take support.
True. True. One interesting thing, like people do not talk a lot about it. Everybody, most of the people, like I'm not talking about very good organization like I'm working in. There's no company politics, but most of the organization I have worked in and I have seen like my friends struggling with is company politics.
Yeah.
Many people feel, everybody feels like, not many people, everybody feels like, everybody who is not growing feels like, okay, I am being a victim of company politics. So how to handle this kind of situation, because people do not openly talk about it.
Yeah, company politics, that's a big topic in itself. And, I can keep going on and on and on company politics. So I again, working with so many leaders and I work with the mid-level and the senior leaders. Most of the people dread moving to the senior level because they say, Deepa, the politics is bad in my organization. I do not want to become, I hate politics. That's a common word or the sentence that I hear. Deepa, I hate politics. And if I grow, I'll have to become a part of that system and company politics. So I would prefer not growing. I'll just stay where I am. I'll keep doing what I'm doing, and we'll see where it takes. So people are actually sacrificing their growth because they hate politics and they don't want to be a part of that politics. But Ashish, the thing is, politics exist. You cannot deny it, right? We cannot say, oh, I don't want to be a part of politics. Now when people join my sessions and I talk to them, I help them see how they are also playing politics. So the connotation around politics is always wrong. See, we understand politics as bad politics, but politics is actually a scale. There's good politics, there's neutral, and then there is bad, and there is extreme, right? So extreme is when the culture is toxic and we can't survive, and we are dreading going to work, and the boss is manipulating and playing games. Emotionally, we are suffering a lot. So if you are in a toxic workplace where you cannot even breathe, quit. Even if you have a job or you don't have a job, just quit. Don't try to manage politics because you cannot do that in that culture, in that toxic workplace, right? So that's the first very important thing. Don't keep suffering and trying to work your way around because it will do more damage to you than anything else. So just quit. That's my first take on toxic politics. But on the other hand, we also have to learn how to handle the normal politics of the environment. And to do that, understand the people playing politics. So, what is politics? Politics is when we see people going to bosses, having conversations, going for a smoke or a late night, dinners with our bosses, saying yes to what they are saying, not able to say no. We call all of these things politics. That this person is boss's right hand, and they play a lot of politics. That's not politics. It's basically that person trying their best to grow in their career. And how they grow is this. They know only this. So they use this, whether you call it politics or you call manipulation or you call whatever it is, they use these tactics to grow in their career. Right? Now, a good person also wants to grow. A person who hates politics also want to grow, but they don't want to use these methodologies. So then I tell them, you don't have to do this. If you don't like it, don't do it. You can build your own skills and you can become so good at your work that your boss cannot overlook you, right? You will grow if you build on the skills like interpersonal skills, like if you're adding so much value to the organization, and if you're a problem solver and you are a client asset and clients love you, no matter how much politics exists in the organization, how many people go and flatter their bosses, this person will trump all of them.
Yes.
So politics exist. I don't deny that, but don't sacrifice your careers because there is politics. You have to learn how to navigate the system and be smart enough. Like I tell my leaders, hard work is no longer the key to success. It's just a very old way of thinking. Smart work is the key to success. And smart work does incorporate hard work, but it means much more than hard work.
Yes.
So are you doing the right things? Are you upgrading yourself? Are you adding value to the place that you are in? Or are you just resigning and saying, I'm going to work hard and then let destiny? That's a very, very victim mindset. And you cannot become a CXO or a CEO or a VP if you are thinking in that way. So take charge, take control, build the skills, and then politics is something that will keep happening around you, but you will not be touched by that. I am an example of that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So in your career, you have been like through this situation.
Oh, absolutely. See, politics exist, but fortunately for me, in my 13 years with Capgemini, I got promoted every 2 years, right? And my boss was sitting in a different location. So I always had bosses who were not in my location. So managing your boss, managing up, making sure that you're visible, all of these are part of politics, right? But these are good politics. They are important for your career growth, right? Contributing at a center level, contributing and meeting with leaders at a center level who will talk about you when you are, nominated for promotion. You cannot get promoted just by yourself. You need an army around you who is saying, yes, promote Deepa. She's there. She has all the skills. We are confident of her. That's when leaders get promoted. On your own, it's like it will not happen, and then you'll again go into that victim mindset. Politics hai, people don't promote me, I work so hard. It doesn't work. Find ways to be visible and get promoted.
Right. So, just to add upon, it's not only your work, but also the work you do around building your relationship within the organization,
Absolutely.
with senior managers, with the people who will be a big influencer in decision making. So important to start
Exactly.
building your relationship. Keep talking about your achievements, your accomplishments all around in office whenever you get opportunity. So it builds the credibility.
Yeah, absolutely. People are so scared of talking about themselves. They say, Deepa, that's another thing. I hate politics and I hate selling, right? But if you don't talk about yourself, if I don't talk about myself as a coach, I'll not get any clients, right? If you don't talk about what you're doing in growing professionals, then why will people come to you and listen to you?
Right.
So we all have to market ourselves. It's a part and parcel of our career. And smart work includes all of that, right?
True.
And as we move forward, relationships are much more important than skills.
True.
And
Absolutely.
we have to focus on the right things.
Yes. Perfect. So it was a 20-25 minute session, but lot of knowledge, lot of insights from your experience, because you have been working with a lot of like people who want to grow. And this was a topic that we kept for the session. So a lot of insights. And I am pretty sure that people who are watching this would have got a lot of actionables what to do next. And definitely, if you are stuck in your career, if you're not sure like how to go ahead with, Deepa is there, I am here, you can get in touch with both of us, and we can help you out navigate this like current waters. So we can help you
Absolutely.
out. And as we were also mentioning, it's important to accept it. Okay, you are not at the right place, or you are not a right position. Accept, because ultimately it's your life, your career, and you have a family. So you are answerable to them and yourself first than anybody else. So take a decision. If you are stuck, be strong and open it up.
Yeah. Well said, Ashish. And for people who are, who want to learn the step-by-step formula, this is my book, Career Accelerator Formula, where I have written a step-by-step process of how can you build your career. So, as a first step, if you don't know what to do, pick up my book. It'll give you some thoughts. It'll give you some actions. It's like a workbook, and you can work through it and then reach out to either of us, because both of us are working on helping leaders build their
Yes.
careers.
Yes, and the book is available on Amazon, and link I will be sharing in the
Yes.
description section, so you can go and definitely get this book. And this will be very good head start. This will give you an idea, a
Yeah.
framework, how to go ahead with. It will help you understand yourself better. Then you can take
Absolutely.
the next step, reach out to Deepa, and she will help you out.
Exactly. Exactly.
Perfect. So thank
Thank you,
you
Ashish,
so
for
much.
having me. It was a very insightful discussion, and I'm so glad that I'm here and able to share my experience of working with leaders and my own experience of working in the corporates with your audience. So thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much, Deepa, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people will get benefited out of this conversation. Thank you. Thank
I'm
you
glad.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, audience, for watching this. Next week, we will have another guest, and be ready for the very insightful discussion. Every Sunday, 6 p.m., we will have this session live. So take benefit out of it. If you have not yet subscribed, do subscribe and share this in your friend circle to your family members so that they can also get the benefit of this conversation. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, Deepa, again and again for being here.
Thank you.